Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So Premier League is finally over. Finished yesterday. If you can hear noises outside, it's because the window's open, and I apologise, but I don't know what's going on out there. But yeah, so the Premier League is finally over. Tottenham ended the season with a win against Leeds, which then 4-1. All I wanted yesterday was to win, and we did. Unfortunately, we finished 8th, which is a bit disappointing. I was kind of arm in arm about Conference League. Would I want to finish Conference League place, or would I rather not finish in Europe? I'll still like so undecided, but I do feel like one game a week next season could potentially help us out. So yeah, so basically this video is basically keep ourselves. So current Tottenham squad, we're going through all the players and whether I think we should keep them or would I like to sell them. So that's just basically what this video is. So if you do enjoy this video, give us a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and comment down below what you think. Do you agree with what I've said, or do you have different opinions? Let me know. But yeah, we're just gonna get straight into it. So obviously starting off with the race. Obviously sell. I feel like it has been not confirmed, but it's more than likely that Lloris will be leaving at the end of the season. But yeah, obviously he's been a great servant to us over the years he's been here. But I feel like, yeah, it is time for him to move on to another club. The only thing is, it's a shame that we didn't win any trophies with him. And obviously it's gonna be sad to see him go. There was a time where I was like, I can't see Tottenham without Lloris. And now it's getting to the point where it's basically happening. It's kind of like, it's weird. But yeah, obviously it was a fantastic goalkeeper for us, but obviously it's come to a point where it's like, now it's time for him to go. Okay, next up, Forster. I would keep him for a backup keeper. He's definitely performed well when he's been called upon, so I feel like he hasn't really done anything bad, so I wouldn't. I think he's got, was it 1 year left, I think. So yeah, I'd keep him for next season. Moving on to, I don't know why I'm laughing, but Dyer. Okay, we're moving on to Dyer. Dyer, basically I've got written down here, sell. If I didn't make it clear enough the first 3 times, then again, sell. Okay, it's gotten to that point where it's like, it's time to go. He's been at the club for way too long, too many errors, can't really defend. I feel like this has probably been his worst season at the club, which is saying something. It's been a shocking season, if I'm honest, and we definitely need to upgrade on him in the summer. I feel like he's got two years left, or is it 1 year? Maybe 1 year. He better not be getting a contract extension. What we're hearing is that we're probably not going to sell him, but we'll probably let him leave on the free, because let's be honest, who's going to buy him? Who's going to buy Dyer? Like, I can't think, none of the top clubs in the Premier League are going to buy him. I don't know which club would buy him, so if we had to see like this last year, but he better not be starting. Like, if he's still here next season, which I'm fingers crossed, hopefully not, but if he is still here, I don't want to see him starting. Like, he can be like in reserves, and like if we desperately need a centre back or whatever, then he can come in. I say that very hard. It's very hard to say that, but yeah, he's like the reserve. Dyer, sell. I feel like probably every Spurs fan will be like, sell. So hopefully we agree on that one. Sanchez, again, sell. It's been here for long enough. Not really made any improvements, and has had another bad season. To be fair, he was alright yesterday. Nothing to shout about and be like, yeah, he was brilliant, but no, he was alright yesterday. Cost 40 million. Hasn't shown anything to justify paying that price, and he definitely cannot be a starter next season. And what we're hearing is that he could potentially be looking for more regular game time. Sanchez, sell. Let's see what happens. Obviously Romero, keep. I feel like that everyone's gonna say keep, hopefully, because there has been a lot of talk about him and his injuries before, like national team games and whatever. I'm just like, there's a few weeks before that happens, but you know what, it is what it is, isn't it? I feel like majority of the season he's been one of our best players. Obviously there has been some points where he's been good enough, but having to play with the likes of Dyer and Sanchez obviously isn't going to help. I do feel like with better defenders around him, we'll definitely see the best of Romero. And I do think he has the potential to become a world-class centre-back. Okay, next up we have Tanganga. Sell. He isn't going to be starting next season, and whenever he has played this season, he hasn't been good enough. Unfortunate, but I do feel like we could get a few million for him, and also would be the best decision for him as he'll get more game time somewhere else. Potential clubs, I do not know. I don't know where he could go. Obviously, when he first came into that first team, he played really well. Was it Liverpool he came and played well against? I think it might have been. But since then, because obviously Mourinho had to bring him in because we had injuries at the time. But since then, the last probably 2 seasons, it hasn't really worked out for him. And I do feel sorry for him because I do feel like he was showing potential. But yeah, hopefully he can get a move in the summer. Now, moving on to Davies. I'm just going to say one thing about, because Longlay's next, but Davies and Longley, if we do have to keep, I'd rather just keep one of them than both. Gracie's literally interrupted me, so she's there again, like last time. Annoying. And I forgot what I was saying. If we had to keep one of them, I'll probably say Davies. But if we can get rid of both of them, that'd be great. Davies, sell. I do feel like he has the right season, but need to upgrade on him so we can improve as a team and get to where we want to be. But obviously, if we're keeping, I don't think we are going to keep Longley, but if we do, then Davies I would like to see out the door. With Longley, he hasn't been, I don't think he's been bad this season, but I don't think he's really shown enough for us to spend money buying him. If we had to keep a centre back, bar memory. What am I can't say. We need at least 2 or 3 top quality centre backs. So buying Longley for whatever price it will be pretty pointless. Let me know who you'd rather keep, Longley or Davies. I feel like for me, Davies, because he's already here, but I would potentially only keep him for like 1 more season. I don't know how long his contract is. Moving on to Porro, keep. I feel like there's not much to say about Pedro, but I definitely feel like he's going to be a big player for us going forward, and he had a really good performance yesterday against Leeds. Royale. I've struggled with this one. Obviously, I wouldn't be mad if he was still here next season. But however, if we can get money for him, then I do feel like we could sell. Hasn't worked as well as we have all hoped. And he did improve since Porro came in. I feel like we need, going forward, someone to contribute in the final third, like Porro does. And Emerson hasn't been done that to a high standard. But again, I wouldn't be mad if he is still a Tottenham player next season. I feel like him playing like centre-back is probably better for him than like right wing back. I don't know, it depends. Honestly, it depends what manager comes in, what formation we're playing, like what players, you know, all that stuff. Still don't know. That's really all it depends on. Moving on to Sessegnon. Obviously, we haven't really seen him much this season. But yeah, I'd sell. Like, too many injuries, and when he hasn't done enough since coming to the club, I feel like that's standard. I mean, he's still at a young age, so maybe, I don't know what kind of club he could go to, but maybe mid-table in the Premier League or something. But I guess it just depends on who would want to come in for him. Moving on to Perisic. So, offensively, can't really fault him, but has been lacking defensively. And then if the new manager does come in and play back 4, Perisic would struggle, so probably the best one to go. It is been reported that he's potentially going to be out the door anyways. He wasn't part of the squad yesterday, so I feel like that can be a kind of indication that he'll be leaving anyways. You skip, keep future captain, and that's enough said. That's what I was saying on skip. Bentancur, obviously keep. That's like a really easy decision. Obviously he had a really bad injury and won't be back for a few months now. But we've seen him, you know, he's like the amount he's improved with his injury and everything, you know, him running now, being on the grass, like he's getting there. So yeah, keep, obviously. Moving on to Højbjerg. The last few games he had an injury, but personally I would keep. I do feel like he has struggled since Bentancur's injury, but when he's at the best, we know we can bring to the team. Maybe he might not be like a regular star next season, But as a squad player, I do feel like we could keep him for that. Though I do think he can be underrated at times, so keep for me. Bazuma, keep. Obviously struggled to get game time under Conte, and then he had a long-term injury, but he could definitely offer a lot to the team, and next season we should see that. Obviously he has been playing the last few games, and we've definitely seen an improvement, and that midfield is going to be amazing with Bazuma in there like more next season, so I'm looking forward to see him. Moving on to Sa, obviously keep. A young player but has definitely shown potential, and I do feel like he could become a very important player for us. So yeah, so he's got time to like improve, and like we'll see more of him. Again, it depends what manager comes in, but hopefully if we get some more players for that midfield, more like Cam, you know, creative midfielders, because I feel like we've got enough. Honestly, it just depends what happens in the summer, because we never know, might get a shock departure or something, but who knows. Mora obviously already confirmed he's leaving on a free, and he played his last game for Tottenham, and he scored, so I'm happy for Mora. But yeah, it's gonna be sad to see him leave. Son, obviously we all know he has had an overall poor season, but he's a world-class player that we should be keeping hold of. And yeah, I feel like one off season, when there's been like an off season for Tom in general, like, you know, we should be keeping him. And I do think next season he'll be back to his best, and you know, to his output this season, even though it has been kind of poor. It hasn't been bad, but just bad compared to his previous seasons. But anyways, moving on to Danjuma, and this one's difficult because I do feel like he hasn't really had enough game time, and yeah, since coming in he hasn't really had that time to show what he can do. But then when he has played, he's played well, so I would sign him. In my opinion, I would sign him. But obviously it does depend on what the manager wants and what manager comes in and all that stuff. But I would sign him, but as long as we get the positions that we need filled before then, so like goalkeeper, centre backs, like Cam. I feel like Cam's probably more important than signing Danjuma, but as long as we can get that sorted and then we sign him, I'll be happy, but not before. Richarlison, keep. Obviously a tough first season, scoring only one Premier League goal, performed better in the Champions League, but we won't have Europe next season. But yeah, I do think he should be given more time, and like we signed him for 60 million, so there's no point signing him for like one season and then like trying to get rid of him. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. So obviously keep. Hopefully he can improve next season. Moving on to Kulusevski, keep. Also, he has struggled this season, and hopefully we actually sign permanently, because there's still like this back and forth for whether we're going to do or not. But we better. I just see no reason as to why we wouldn't. But yeah, keep. And you know, he showed potential. Obviously this season's been a bit off it. Maybe it's because of his contract situation, I don't know. That could be a reason why. But hopefully we make that permanent soon, because then we can all stop worrying. But yeah. Kane, obviously this one's gonna be interesting. My opinion might be a lot different than other people's, but I'm gonna say keep. Now, I know we would run the risk of losing him on the free next season, end season next season. But Spurs or Kane is a really scary thought, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to. And obviously it might be Sefton would keep Kane, but of course if he were to leave at the end of this season, none of us could really hold it against him. But I do feel like he still will be a Tottenham player next season. People are saying a lot about him, being like, oh, he should leave this season, or blah blah blah. But I still see him being here next season, and obviously I want to keep him. Obviously the contract situation, him living on a free, is not ideal, because we would want money for him. But then I feel like if he's like wanting to stay for like one more season and then like leave, then you know, that is what it is. I do hold out hope that maybe he might sign a new contract. It's looking unlikely at the moment because of where we are. But who knows, next season we might go on and win a cup or something. Being out of Europe might be able to help us focus on Europe, so who knows. I'm just like, it's gonna be a miracle, but I'm just holding out. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna be moving on to the loan players. Winks, Sell. I feel like his future at Spurs has been done for a long time ish, the way he's been playing. So yeah, Sell. The Sell side, obviously, you could wait and see how they're like under new manager, but for me, Sell, it's probably best. Regulon, I do feel like we can find from a club to go to Sell, but I guess it depends on what the new manager wants. But I would probably, if we are going to play back four, then I would potentially keep Regulon if Perisic is out the door, if I'm wanting to set someone out the door as well. And Ndombele. Sell, I can't argue against his quality, but he does lack the effort and the right attitude to succeed as top player. Again, new manager coming in might be able to motivate him, but I feel like it would be a massive risk, and it's just not a risk we can take at this time. Jed Spence is a keep, like, that's all left to say. Rodon, obviously, him coming in was an interesting decision by Tottenham, let's say that. And it's not that he's bad, it's just it's just not good enough for what we want, or where we want to go. So I would sell him. Last but not least, Hill, obviously keep on loan at Sevilla at the moment. Obviously he didn't get much game time on Conte, and it got a bit, I wouldn't say, maybe a little bit toxic, and like he wasn't happy. So hopefully get him a new manager in that plays attacking style football, and he will get his chance. Obviously the only thing, like, he's showing quality, the only thing he was really lacking was like that physicality, but hopefully he can build that up and he can be a brilliant player for us. And then, so that's it. So let me know what you think. Who would you keep or sell? But I feel like I don't expect all the players I want out to go out at the end of the season. Because it depends, because there is talk of contracts getting torn up, so it'd be interesting. Well, let me know who you think those players will be. The contracts are getting torn up. It'd be interesting to see what you think. But yeah, be sure to let me know if you agree with my opinions or not, and I will be back. I'm going to be doing a live watch along for the FA Cup final, which is coming this Saturday, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm also going to be doing a live watch along for the Champions League final as well. So that's like 2 weeks. By over 2 weeks, but you know what I mean. And yeah, obviously the Premier League's over, and I might be doing live watch alongs for the England games coming up. Haven't decided yet, but I might do. I probably will end up doing them, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, there's going to be a few more videos coming out on this channel, so if you want to look it out. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out my second channel, which is linked down below. It's my reactions, and if you enjoy reactions, then check it out. There'll be a lot more videos on there now, considering football season's over, and I am planning on doing a career mode on FIFA, so look out for that. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon with a brand new video. Bye guys.